jpegmafia touts himself as the face of experimental rap in a 6th album titled Experimental Rap. Because of this, it got mixed reviews, leading the vast majority of people to misunderstand the entire point of this album. Today, I'm going to convince you that it's actually Peggy's best album, and that the marketing behind it was actually genius. jpegmafia is the artist who got me into the experimental rap scene. It opened my ears to sounds I've never heard before, with a combination of unconventional sampling techniques, dense self-production style, and Peggy's vocal delivery. Each song is a unique journey of cultural reflection. You don't listen to jpegmafia for the lore, you listen to Peggy for the production. That is, until recently. With experimental rap now available, it's time to look through his discography of independent releases to see if we can find any clues. According to JPEG in an interview, Scaring the Hoes was the first independent release, essentially the start of a new era for Peggy.
When I first got in the game, I was signed, and then I got off of my label in 2023 when I released Scaring the Hoes. That was my first independent release in the music industry. So ever since then, I think my albums and trajectory have been different.
This was my very first jpegmafia album I've ever listened to, and since it was a collaboration album with Danny Brown, it was a wild first experience for me. It was my summer album for 2023 that I kept going back to, and even listening to it years later, it still holds up as a fun experimental project. JPEG even released a documentary about this very album, and that alone really opened my eyes to the way both jpegmafia and Danny Brown work as music artists. You may notice in the copyright section of some of his songs that AWOL is listed. AWOL stands for Artists Without a Label, which, although being a parent company of Sony, AWOL is a distributor, not a label, meaning that artists under the AWOL brand still own the rights to their music. A big deal in the landscape of music production. In jpegmafia's case, Peggy has a hand in every step of the music production process unless otherwise listed in the credits, making him a truly inspirational artist to those who also DIY every step of the musician's process. After 3 iterations of Scaring the Hoes, such as the original first volume with 14 tracks, DLC pack consisting of 4 additional tracks, and director's cut version with every song from that era, including 3 new bonus tracks, there was I Lay Down My Life For You. Both iterations have a cross on the cover, however, different costumes are shown. In the original cover, Peggy is in a tracksuit of some kind. In the director's cut version, he's wearing a cowboy hat. This is significant due to the fact that the song Protect the Cross is in the track list as an additional song to the original track list. We see Peggy in the same attire as on the cover. Funnily enough, I think when Peggy said he was starting a new era, he meant it. But it actually started with I Lay Down My Life For You, and specifically the song Protect the Cross, where the whole point is making fun of the political American landscape in 2025. In the music video, he has a giant American flag, fireworks, American soldiers, and a cowboy outfit. Peggy is doing more symbolic stuff than people give him credit for. The title, Protect the Cross, in and of itself, is ironic. This leads us to Experimental Rap, his 6th album. I initially brought up I Lay Down My Life For You and Protect the Cross because it lays some foundation work for this album's concept, satire. In the interview where jpegmafia is wearing all black surrounded by other people in black uniforms, this symbolizes jpegmafia playing a character.
With experimental rap, I just wanted to lay claim to something I already have. I'm already the best in this space of experimental rap. There's no one who competes with me. There's no one who does what I do. There's no one who is able to do this. And that's why I'm not copied. I don't have many type beats. It's not because people don't like me, it's because people cannot do what I do. When you think of experimental rap, it's just like nothing. Nobody thinks of anything. Or they just casually mention me and just try to downplay everything. But it's just like, I understand that some people will see me as a hero, some people will see me as the worst person in the world. That's their issue.
Experimental rap is satire. He literally has a song called Since I Met Ye, and then on track 16, he literally samples a Ye song in his song Lights, which is important since he met Ye a few years ago and actually produced some songs for Vultures. Also, that "I'm racist" line made me laugh because it was so absurd that it had to be satire. Starting the album with Baby Girl seems intentional because it is the least impressive song on the project, especially when you juxtapose it with the rest of the tracklist. In the interview, he's not just wearing all black and seems to be playing a character, he literally admits on record that he is playing a character.
In the past, when I made albums, you know, there's a mix of, my album's always about me, but there's a mix of like maybe persona, reality mixing together. This one is just blunt force truth. You know, I'm just taking the mask off a little bit and just letting you know, like, this is deliberate. I'm not like doing anything by accident. I'm not, you know, this is planned out. It's been like this.
Numerous songs where money is the literal title of the song to play into this new persona as a way to make fun of the current state of rap. Also, the whole Charlie Kirk line, that was not surprising at all, really. There are just so many little things that seem intentional once you realize how this album was set up with the marketing. He has become the cornball that his heroes were to him. And that's the point. Okay, well, this is all speculation. Surely jpegmafia himself hasn't confirmed this. Oh, but he did. On Bandcamp. In a now deleted description that was on Bandcamp on the very first day of release, jpegmafia typed these very words. For me as a black person, the online portion of this fanbase makes me uncomfortable, and I don't plan on interacting with it in any real way again. If you don't like this album, good. That means you don't like me, and you can stop listening now. Go find an artist that makes you feel good about yourself, because this black man is standing firm against white supremacy until I die. If you like this album, then thank you so much, and as I continue to evolve, I hope that you enjoy where the rest of this goes. No. I did not write this. This was on jpegmafia's Bandcamp page as the description. It currently says this: Experimental Rap by jpegmafia, written, recorded, and produced in 2025. Produced by jpegmafia, written by jpegmafia, mixed by jpegmafia, mastered by Dale Becker. Actually, I'm gonna screenshot that really quick in case he changes it again. jpegmafia hid his own evidence that he said himself. This isn't some theory made by a person who's chronically online. Oh no, it was confirmed by jpegmafia himself. He said, I don't plan on interacting with it, aka his fanbase, in any real way again. jpegmafia was/is playing a character for this album rollout, and this confirms it. The experimental rap album is satire. It would also make sense why JPEG has been going after other artists that could also be considered experimental rap in order to gain more attention for this album, basically pulling a move from the Ye playbook at this point. The interview he did literally ends with jpegmafia saying nothing to his fans, which directly mirrors his sentiment with the deleted Bandcamp description.
Since you haven't been on socials, haven't been interacting with your fans as much, what do you want to say to your fans right now?
Nothing.
jpegmafia went from a producer to a satirical artist who uses rage bait and characterization to speak about the current landscape of music. Instead of surface-level rap lyrics in previous albums, here we get a deeper satirical take about rap music as a whole, as well as white supremacists, which Peggy has been very vocal about preaching against.
The things that I've been doing in music, the things I've been talking about, the way I attack white supremacy consistently throughout my career is the reason why I might get more hate than the average person, the average rapper in my lane. So I think I'm a trailblazer in that aspect. I'm true punk rock. Like, when you bring up my name, you get a real visceral, actual, like, reaction. I really hate this guy. Like, all the other shit is a joke, but this guy I really hate, and that's real punk rock.
People don't like this album because they don't like the character Peggy is playing in both the marketing and this album. But that says more about the listeners than the creator of the album.